Volcanoes erupting, prophecies colliding, and warriors staring death in the face. Chief of War just delivered one of the most explosive finales of the year. But here's the big question. Does Kayana survive his duel with Keoua? Who really claims the god's favor in the Black Desert? And what does this bloody battle mean for Kamehameha's destiny as the Great King? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're diving headfirst into the Season 1 finale of Chief of War. We're breaking down everything, from Kahumano's rise to power, to Kayana's near-death clash on the volcanic ridge, to what Kahekili is planning next. And of course, we'll answer the burning question on everyone's mind. Is this the moment Kamehameha truly secures his path to uniting Hawai'i? The spark that ignites the war. The finale begins with tensions at an all-time high. Through Nahi's brutal murder, Keoua's chief of war, Opunui, makes it clear that the Kau district is marching straight toward open conflict. Peace is no longer on the table. For Kamehameha, who has always leaned toward unity and reconciliation, this means the time for negotiation has ended. He must fight. But here's the kicker. Keoua isn't alone. He's formed an alliance with King Kahekili of Maui, a ruler obsessed with the prophecy of the Great King. Kahekili believes he's destined to unify the islands through force and bloodshed. By backing Keoua, he can destabilize Hawaii and eliminate rivals before turning his gaze outward. For Kamehameha, this is a nightmare scenario. Keoua has numbers, Maui warriors, and the backing of one of the most ruthless kings. But Kamehameha has something new. Kayana, who has returned from his travels overseas with a powerful advantage: guns. That single shift balances the battlefield. Suddenly, this isn't just spears against spears. It's tradition colliding with new weaponry, faith clashing with fate. Kahumanu steps into power. One of the most fascinating parts of this finale isn't just the blood spilled in battle, it's the political game happening around it. Kahumanu, Kamehameha's wife, shows just how vital she is to his husband's rise. All season long, she's been the voice of reason, diplomacy, and strategy. It's her relationship with Kayana that cements his loyalty to Kamehameha. Without her influence, Kayana might never have joined this fight. And it's not just behind-the-scenes advice. Kamehameha formally rewards her by appointing her to his royal council before the war begins. This is a huge deal. Kahumanu isn't just a chief's wife. She's a political power in her own right. She's the bridge between the warriors and the chiefs, between tradition and the future. And her actions on the battlefield prove that her power isn't just symbolic. She saves lives and changes the tide of battle with her quick thinking. So while swords clash and chants echo, Kahumanu is already reshaping the political landscape of Hawaii.
I found comfort with Kupuahi, and she with me.
Kayana's family drama comes to the surface. Of course, the finale doesn't just give us a war. It digs deep into family wounds and loyalties. Kayana's return has shaken his family. Remember, everyone thought he was dead after the Oahu battle. During his absence, grief pushed his brother Namake and his wife Kupuohi into each other's arms. It wasn't about betrayal as much as it was about finding comfort in the darkest of times. When Kayana comes back, those choices weigh heavily. But here's the surprising part. He doesn't react with rage or condemnation. Instead, Kayana shows understanding. He knows grief can twist people into desperate decisions. He doesn't hold it against them. This forgiveness clears the air, letting the family enter battle united. It's a rare moment of grace in a story drenched with vengeance. And it speaks volumes about Kayana's growth. He's no longer the man blinded by pride or ambition. He's someone who sees the bigger picture, survival, unity, and the future of his people. Meanwhile, Nahi's lover Heke makes her own choice. Consumed by the need for revenge, she takes up arms. She's inexperienced, untrained, but determined to fight. And that decision leads to one of the most brutal confrontations. Into the Black Desert, and then the war begins. The battlefield, known as the Black Desert, is as ominous as it sounds. The two armies face each other, their chiefs stepping forward to hurl insults, chants, and curses. It's not just physical, it's spiritual warfare. Each side calls on the gods to bless them, to curse the enemy, to guide their spears. When the charge comes, it's chaos. Keoua's men storm forward, but they're met with something they're not prepared for: the thunder of muskets. Kamehameha's smaller force suddenly becomes deadly at long range, cutting down wave after wave before they even reach close combat. But sheer numbers keep the fight balanced. Maui warriors bolster Keoua's lines, and soon the battlefield is soaked with blood. The series doesn't shy away from the carnage. Warriors fall left and right. Families are torn apart in real time. Even with guns, Kohala can't win easily. They're fighting against overwhelming odds. And in the middle of it all, personal duels emerge. Heke's revenge and Kupuohi's wound. Heke's storyline reaches its climax when she faces Opunui, the chief of war who killed Nahi. On paper, it's a hopeless fight. She's young, untrained, and filled more with anger than skill. Opunui is a hardened warrior, and at first, the fight goes exactly as you'd expect. He batters her, nearly kills her, proving the gulf between them. But just when it seems she's finished, Kahumanu intervenes. She shoots Opunui in the knee, crippling him. Suddenly, the balance shifts. Heke finds the strength to finish the job, cutting down the man who stole Nahi's life. It's messy, it's brutal, but it's cathartic. Heke proves that grief doesn't just destroy, it can also fuel transformation. Meanwhile, Kupuohi faces her own brush with death. During the chaos, she's struck by a spear to the torso. For a moment, it seems like she'll bleed out on the field, but Namake pulls her to safety. The injury is devastating, but she survives. Unlike so many others, her story doesn't end in the Black Desert. Kayana versus Keoua, destiny on the volcano. And then we come to the moment the entire finale builds toward. Kayana and Keoua, face to face atop a volcanic ridge. This isn't just a duel between men, it's a clash of destinies. Keoua has claimed the favor of the fire gods, pointing to volcanic eruptions as proof. He believes the prophecy is on his side. Kayana, armed with his musket and the backing of Kamehameha, represents a new way forward. The fight is intense, and for a moment it looks like Kayana might end it with a shot. But before he can pull the trigger, the earth itself intervenes. The volcano erupts violently, tearing the ground apart. Keoua is swallowed by fire and lava, his prayers unanswered, his prophecy shattered. Kayana is blasted back as well, nearly killed. For a terrifying moment, it looks like he won't survive either, but fate spares him. He wakes, battered but alive, with Kaumanu by his side. So, to answer the question, does Kayana die in the finale? No, he survives, but just barely, and his survival is more than luck, it's symbolic. The gods may not have favored Keoua, but they allowed Kayana to live, suggesting his role in Hawaii's future isn't over. Kamehameha's victory. With Keoua gone, the outcome of the battle is sealed. Kamehameha is the last chief standing. His cousin's rule crumbles, his warriors scatter, and the prophecy shifts firmly in Kamehameha's favor. But while victory is his, the crown isn't yet. Becoming king of Hawaii isn't as simple as killing a rival. It requires recognition, ritual, and the acceptance of the prophecy itself. Kamehameha has the momentum, but Kahekili still lurks across the water, sharpening his knives. This victory isn't the end. It's the beginning of the next war, the one that will decide who truly earns the title of the Great King. Kahekili's dark vision. Back on Maui, King Kahekili hears the news. Kamehameha has triumphed. Keoua is dead. Kayana is alive. And instead of being shaken, Kahekili is thrilled. In his mind, every piece is falling into place. The prophecy doesn't frighten him, it fuels him. He believes collecting Kayana's bones will secure his destiny. Where Kamehameha sees unity, Kahekili sees domination. Where one wants peace, the other craves legacy. The finale makes it clear, Kahekili won't stop until he's destroyed Kamehameha and claimed the islands for himself. The stage is set. Hawaii is no longer torn by internal district struggles. It's now on a collision course with Maui. What the ending really means. The finale of Chief of War closes with survival, but not peace. Kayana cheats death, Kamehameha wins the battle, and Ka'ahumanu rises to power. But victory doesn't erase the wounds of war. Families are scarred, alliances are fragile, and prophecies still hang over every decision. Kaiana's survival in particular is powerful. He's a man haunted by betrayal, loss, and exile. His near-death moment could have been an ending, but instead, it's a rebirth. By sparing him, the story signals that Kaiana still has a critical role to play, possibly as the warrior who bridges tradition and modernity, uniting Hawaii under Kamehameha's rule. At the same time, Kahekili's obsession with prophecy sets up a darker mirror. He's convinced he's the great king, but his path is one of destruction, not unity. The coming war won't just be about weapons and armies, it'll be about competing visions for Hawaii's future. Our nerdy thoughts. So, does Kaiana die? No. He survives the Black Desert, scarred but alive, and ready for what comes next. Kamehameha claims victory, but the true battle, the one against Kahekili, still looms on the horizon. The finale ties off some storylines with blood and closure like Heke's revenge, while leaving others wide open for the next chapter. Ka'ahumanu steps fully into her role as political power. Kupuohi survives her wound, and Namake remains a loyal brother. Together, they've weathered the storm. But if the prophecy has taught us anything, it's that storms are far from over. The islands are heading toward the greatest war they've ever seen, one that will decide who truly earns the title of the Great King. And with Kaiana still breathing, musket in hand, you know he's going to be right at the heart of it. Hit me with your theories. I read every one. Thanks for watching. Aloha, and until next time, keep chasing those epic stories that make us feel alive.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.